All right, hello, darlings. I've got another one for you today. It's a little bit of a reaction video. I actually covered this many, many moons ago and completely forgot it existed until they did this trailer today. So essentially, the game is called Boundary and it is one for the tactical shooter genre. So if you're looking for something that you want to compare it to, then I highly recommend you have a look at Rainbow Six. And yeah, it is essentially a tactical shooter, except this time it is in space. And it's not just like your cheesy cliche, oh, we're in space. It's full on astronauts. Like it looked very NASA esque. It's what I would imagine space to be like if, we go to it today. Um, but it's, yeah, it's zero G gravity. So instead of just being on your standard X and Y axes, you can spin 360s and change the way that you look at your enemies. And yeah, it seems quite interesting. So in terms of the actual characters, they are all unique, similar to Rainbow Six, and they all have their own different abilities. There are tons of customizations apparently, and I just want to have a look at this. The first time I looked, I thought it was a bit cheesy. A nice idea, but I just don't know how different it being from like the other tactical shooters we have there, how it would be. I mean, because the big thing for me about this before we get going is that like, is space enough a unique concept to draw in an audience? And I don't know, but we're here to have a look. There's some great debris mechanics in this, but we can go through it anyway. The trailer is quite short, so let's dive on in. There we are in space. The music is really good, by the way. It's in Unreal Engine, and yeah, it's made by Skystone. So you can see that it's got quite a lot of speed. There's grappling hooks, and yeah, you get a great sense of like the fact that it's on a space station. There's an AK. There's some of the new attachments. The frame rate I don't think is pretty good in this trailer. And there's like, there you go. I don't know how you... I honestly don't know what space weapons would look like. I'd imagine just like lots of needle guns. But they just look like normal weapons, but in a white skin. The movement, I say, looks pretty cool. There's a shield. You imagine you need lots of shields in space. There's just so much to take in there, and it's like 1 minute long. Like, Jesus, guys, slow it down. Let me appreciate what's going on. So you saw an idea that, they had the different add-ons and power-ups. I think the main one I really saw, or two, in fact, one was the grappling hook, which, if Halo's taught us anything recently, that grappling hooks are back in fashion. So that was cool. And then there was the shield. So, like, yeah, everyone would want a shield in space, considering that if your spacesuit pops, well, you're just shit out of luck because you would run out of air. It's gonna have to be one of those ones that I'm really gonna have to play. So for me, like if I want to play a tactical shooter, like you've got Valorant, you've got CS:GO, you've got Rainbow Six Siege. The genre is consumed by some pretty big boys. So for me, I think it would be how well the deathmatch plays out. Because if you have a look at like Call of Duty, I know they've got their modes which have like, I don't know, what is it, 5v5 or 4v4, whatever, and the bomb detonations or whatever. But even though they don't really dive into the whole tactical shooter genre that much, in my opinion, it's they leave it to the big three. So I'd like to see, I think if the deathmatch play was quite fun and it's got that progression tree, constant unlocks and new weapon types, then this could be something quite fun as long as it's stable and a little bit different, because the worlds were very unique. I mean, it's like, how often do you get to go on an actual real life space station or something that really kind of feels like it was built by NASA, as we said before? I can't really name any few, and I'm not going to mention the what COD in space or whatever it was back in the day. So yeah, I I'm not like begging to play at the moment, but I think there is potential for it to be a little bit of fun, and I think it's mainly just going to come from just like the worlds that they build and the fact that it's got 0 G gravity. Like the weapons didn't really blow me away on that, so it's just like it was literally just an AK dyed white. It's just like, why? It's like though it matches your space uniform. Um, well, we'll just have to see. Yeah, and and the tactical shooter element as well didn't really kind of describe that all that much. It was like, what are you defusing a space bomb, or stopping your oxygen leaking from your ship? It feels like in space, a tactical shooter, there will be no winners really, because someone is something and everything is going to get damaged, and yeah, you're all going to die basically because your equipment is super fragile. But yeah, there we go. That is Boundary. You can check it out. There are beta sign-ups at the moment. Check them out. Skystone Games. I'll do more coverage of this. But yeah, this landed on my desk this morning, so I thought I would share it with you. Let me know what you think in the comments as usual, and I'll be back with more news and reviews soon.